My name's Ryan Howell. I am the project manager for River Parks Authority overseeing Turkey Mountain Urban Wilderness. Before I started working at River Parks, I was an archaeologist for the federal government. Did you know that these striations are actually part of the fossil record of Turkey Mountain from 300 plus million years ago? And I had a lot of weekends free, and so I actually started coming out to Turkey Mountain, I want to say about 15, 16 years ago. Instantly fell in love with the place, as most people do. And I started volunteering for like the cleanup days and trail maintenance days, and I literally volunteered so much they offered me a job one day. And that was about a decade ago, and I've been here about 10 years now.
What drew you to the place?
I love to hike, and I don't live that far away, and so it's a great place for me to be able to drive to in 10 minutes, and the trail system's really extensive. There's some beautiful spots back there. I just love hiking here.
What has been the biggest change you've seen since your first visit out here to now?
Well, the biggest change is that River Parks Authority has really stepped in terms of the management of the park, and we've invested something to the tune of $18 million into improving Turkey Mountain. We decided to move forward what was called the Turkey Mountain Master Plan. And this was the plan that the citizens of Tulsa were going to provide the input for what they wanted to see to Turkey Mountain. So when we were developing that plan, the first thing we did before we put pen to paper was we asked the citizens of Tulsa. We had public meetings, we had 4,000 public comments submitted on the internet, and the number one thing they told us that they wanted us to do with Turkey Mountain was to leave it the heck alone. They said, Turkey Mountain is this beautiful place, I don't want you to touch it. That was about half the people said, leave it the heck alone. The other half said, make it better. Turkey Mountain is full of invasive species. The trails are so eroded that they're unusable. If you were somebody with a mobility issue, you could walk 100 feet into those woods and your day was over because you couldn't get down the trails.
I think I'm understanding the plan here with this new northwest lot, that it's going to be a little more accessible for people with different abilities, for them to be able to come out and enjoy some trails. I think is fantastic. So I hope that I'm understanding that correctly. So people that struggle maybe to do some of the other trails, walking, hiking, without their assistive device, I think I'm really excited about that, opening up the possibility for different people to enjoy it as much as I do. So I hope that they're moving along with more of that.
You need to make these trails more accessible. You need to add parking lots. You need to add programming like guided hikes and guided mountain bike rides and skills clinics to get more people outdoors.
Is there anything you would like to see added?
Not really. I mean, I don't know. I kind of like it the way it is. So I'm pretty happy with the old trails, new trails kind of stuff. I think Ryan Howell's done a great job.
So we were challenged with this make it better and leave it alone task. And that ended up being the Turkey Mountain Master Plan. Like when we first started trail construction, there's literally, I saw bumper stickers that said, don't bulldoze Turkey Mountain. And they had like a bulldozer and they were talking to me. They were talking to a guy who loved Turkey Mountain, and the last thing I would want to see is a bulldozer.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start.
My name's Kim Woodard, and I'm a creative director. High Frontier will be my very first time. It would be pretty awesome if a lot of rockets were just going off, but I think it's going to be exciting, and I think people, like the people that built the rockets themselves, are going to be excited to, assemble it and see their creation hopefully take off. And I'm looking forward to it. I love seeing things that people make and people using their imaginations to create something that works and flies into the sky. I do follow like space exploration pretty closely. I've always found it very fascinating and interesting. So coming out to see people utilizing something that you usually see on a large scale, on a smaller scale, is just mind-blowing, exciting, thrilling.
That was amazing.
When I think of model rocketry, I think of STEM, and I think of people utilizing their imagination to create something new and different.
Go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoa!
I think a lot of people actually miss this opportunity to come today and see what, model rocketry is, what it's about, the enthusiasm that goes into building these things and making them work.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. And it's coming down, a little bit tangled, but it's coming down.
We watched one rocket where the guy had taken it to 2 previous events before it finally launched here, and we got to bear witness to it, and it was unbelievable. I think the whole thing was kind of surprising. I didn't really know what to expect other than, plastic rockets going up into the sky, hopefully, but it seemed, it was so much more than that. Between the different size rockets and the various sounds that came from them, the various heights in which they traveled, the whole thing was just an educational experience that I would definitely come back next year and experience again.